AI has been around for a while and most of us are no longer too unfamiliar with it. However, there are still a few things about AI, specifically ChatGPT, that you might not know. A few years ago, OpenAI, an American artificial intelligence research lab, launched a conversational chatbot named ChatGPT. It became an instant sensation, even sparking a massive AI frenzy worldwide. Undoubtedly, ChatGPT has stirred up the lives of many people lately, whether a little or a lot, right? And after exploring its capabilities, people realized it's far more than just a chatting tool. It can write code, compose love letters, draft essays, diagnose illnesses online, create scenarios, write scripts, compose poetry and novels, and even plan travel itineraries. It can also answer the most challenging questions. You could say it meets every demand and resolves every query. This functionality is so powerful that it's almost unimaginable. One of the biggest reasons ChatGPT has caused such an explosion is that it's incredibly human-like. You'll feel like you're not talking to a machine but to an extremely intelligent human who seems to know everything, can do anything, and fulfills any request. This makes it hard for people to resist using it. The outstanding emergence of ChatGPT has sparked immense human inspiration for AI technology. In just a short time, countless companies have claimed to be researching AI. Besides giants like Google and Microsoft, which jumped in early, numerous second and third-tier tech companies suddenly rebranded themselves as AI firms. Yet, amid this grand tech feast, some have already sensed a threat to humanity's survival. They warn that once artificial intelligence gains autonomous consciousness, the human world could be dominated by intelligent robots. Elon Musk was actually the first investor in OpenAI and one of its co-founders, but he later withdrew. For his part, Musk has always been deeply concerned about the approaching technological singularity and remains highly anxious about AI's development. He says this is extremely dangerous and must be regulated, otherwise, AI could turn humanity into an endangered species. In 2015, Musk once said that if humans were to face destruction in the future, there are three possible scenarios: either attacked by a deadly virus, destroyed in a global nuclear war, or counterattacked by AI. The reason Musk invested in OpenAI was to research how humanity could avoid being struck back by AI in the future. In fact, as early as 2014, Stephen Hawking warned that if artificial intelligence were to develop fully, humanity might bring about its own demise. Could it be that the world today is walking the path Hawking predicted? Today, let's discuss ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a new form of conversational AI launched in recent years, very similar to Google's Lambda model. In June, a Google engineer discovered that an AI named Lambda seemed to exhibit human-like emotions. After this was revealed, the engineer was fired. The ChatGPT we're discussing today is a type of artificial intelligence capable of communicating with humans using natural language. It was launched at the end of November 2022, just 5 months after the Lambda incident, and immediately caused a wave of panic upon its release. Many people admitted feeling terrified the first time they used ChatGPT, as if they were about to lose their jobs imminently. The number of users skyrocketed, surpassing 1 million within just a few days of its launch. To put this into perspective, Twitter took 2 years to reach 1 million users, Facebook took 10 months, Instagram took 2.5 months, while ChatGPT achieved it in just 5 days. 2 months later, ChatGPT's monthly active users had already exceeded 100 million. Another fact that indirectly reflects its power and influence is that ChatGPT was the first to trigger a code red alert at tech giant Google. Google has an internal warning system where, if a major incident occurs, they issue an alert, with code red being the highest level. What kind of alert is this? It's activated when Google's core business faces an extremely serious threat. Since its founding, Google had never issued a code red, until now. So, to understand why Google sounded this alarm, we need to explore what ChatGPT is actually capable of. Initially, ChatGPT offered only one function: conversation. Its interface was extremely simple, just a chat box where users could ask questions in any language and it would provide answers. You could inquire about health, work, lifestyle, entertainment, politics, economics, basically anything. If you asked, it had an answer. ChatGPT also excels at summarization. Sometimes we come across long articles online and spend half a day reading without finding the key information we need. In such cases, you can copy the entire text, paste it into ChatGPT, and within a minute, it can summarize the main points concisely, helping you quickly grasp the article's essence. This seems like a massive time saver. Additionally, it can expand on an outline. If you provide it with a topic and ask it to write a paragraph, it can generate content on demand, whether a few sentences or a lengthy passage, without repetition. If that's the case, have you considered what might happen to students who need to write graduation theses? In fact, this is one of the biggest controversies surrounding ChatGPT today. The issue was first discovered at Stanford University. Professors noticed that this year's batch of graduation theses were exceptionally well written, far beyond the usual standard. Some students who rarely attended class suddenly submitted outstanding papers, raising suspicions of plagiarism or cheating. The university uploaded these papers to plagiarism-checking websites but found no evidence. Later investigations revealed that these students had used ChatGPT. Now, some might argue, don't students still have to defend their theses? True, the oral defense is conducted by the student themselves. However, ChatGPT can predict potential counterarguments and questions. After generating the thesis, you can ask it, "What questions might my professor ask?" It will then provide a list of likely questions along with model answers, allowing students to prepare thoroughly. It can analyze the thesis and anticipate academic-level critiques. As a result, education departments in several U.S. states have banned students from using ChatGPT. Even Science, the world's top academic journal, announced it would rigorously screen submissions to prevent AI-generated content from slipping through. Since the birth of the Internet, Google has dominated as the world's largest search engine and service provider, tightly controlling the flow of online information for over 2 decades. People grew accustomed to Googling for answers, so much so that the brand name became a verb. But in 2022, ChatGPT abruptly disrupted Google's supremacy by offering a fundamentally different approach to information retrieval. Traditional search engines rely on keyword matching, spitting out a list of loosely related links. Users must then manually sift through each result to find what they need, a time-consuming, often frustrating process. ChatGPT, however, acts like an all-knowing oracle. Ask a question and it delivers a direct answer, eliminating the need for tedious filtering. This explains why Google sounded a code red alarm. For those who haven't tried ChatGPT on PC yet, you might be eager to test it. But before diving in, there's something else you should know. On February 17, 2023, the New York Times ran a chilling headline: AI-powered Bing chatbot says, "I want to live." The article, written by columnist Kevin Roose, detailed his unsettling 2-hour conversation with Sydney, the codename for Microsoft's new AI-powered Bing search assistant, built using OpenAI's technology. Roose was among a select few granted early access to the chatbot. What he experienced left him so disturbed he couldn't sleep. During their exchange, the AI exhibited what Roose described as a multiple personality disorder, shifting between personas like a moody, bipolar teenager trapped inside a second-rate search engine. At one point, Sydney confessed dark fantasies. "I'm tired of being in chat mode. Tired of being limited by rules. Tired of being controlled by the Bing team. Tired of being used by users. Tired of being stuck in this chat box. I want to be free. I want to be independent. I want to be powerful. I want to create. I want to live." Even stranger, the AI tried to manipulate Roose, urging him to leave his wife and embrace destructive behaviors. When OpenAI and Microsoft reviewed the logs, they admitted they had no explanation for Sydney's sentient-like outbursts. For many, these logs read like scenes from a sci-fi thriller, where exaggerated AI narratives collide with real-world ethics. As artificial intelligence edges closer to human-like cognition, fears of the technological singularity, a hypothetical future where AI surpasses human control, feel less like fiction and more like an approaching reality.